coming from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, trying to indict the Deputy Commissioner of Operations and myself. And anybody who has read that report very well will know the basis of that. And luckily for me, God is always on my side. Before that report came, that person had made a statement to some people who had come to them. He was going to publish something that will discredit me, and he will do that. And I even sent people to go and tell him that he's a small boy. I'm older than him. I have lived a meaningful life. If he attempts to destroy me, it won't be easy for him. People have tried it. I have survived. And this one too, I'll survive. All that happened. One of the reasons was because of Mr. Akurugu. He wanted Mr. Akurugu to be seconded to his office. And I said no. Mr. Akurugu is a customs officer, primarily employed to do customs work. And he is to partner Mr. Akutofachin in that office, African Continental Free Trade Area. He deals with tariffs and valuation. And therefore, I cannot second him to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. So that is it. That is the basis of that publication. But if you read it very well, there's nothing in it. It's hollow. It's actuated by malice. And those who are behind it, they know themselves. They know themselves. They've tried it several times. It is not working, and they want it won't work. I'm ready for any prosecution. That's what he must do. Not to say that they should do further investigations up to 2070.
All right. Now, I believe there was also an explanation from Mr. Damwa about the law that gives room for La Bianca Limited to apply for a reduction in the benchmark values.
By Section 12 of our law, the same Customs Act gives advance ruling. And the import of advance ruling is that someone who is bringing in goods can come and see Customs and say that I'm bringing this type of item, this quantity, and these are my values that the supplier wants to give to me to be able to buy. But I want to come and sit with you so that you reduce the value for purposes of application of the duty rate, the taxes that I'm going to pay. So let's say if the supplier is prepared to give the item at $1,000, right? Because he's buying more, the supplier may give it even with a discount. Then he comes to say that, look, every month I'm going to buy so much, at least 200 containers of this item. And because Customs is going to get reliable, sustainable source of revenue, can you now look at my value and reduce it, give me some discount? That is what the advance ruling talks about. La Bianca took advantage of this provision in the law and wrote to Customs that they are supplying frozen food items. But each month, at least, they supply 200 containers. And for that, me as the commissioner, if you have one importer who gives you revenue regularly, sustainably, you'll be interested in that person. Because there are people who buy just one container, the whole year he won't buy another container. But this is the person who says every month I'm bringing 200, 300, 400. So that person is your real, regular, reliable stakeholder who will be giving you revenue.
So there you go. Thoughts?
Ideally, I mean, listen, the work of the special prosecutor comes along, and that's what we expected him to do. He'll go after people who have done wrong and all the things that are expected in that particular field. That he'll clear the mess in our system. To me, I am more than willing to extend every single rope to the special prosecutor to do his work. I believe him more than the SEPs, in all fairness. I believe him more than many of the people that he has actually investigated, because in all of this, it is his responsibility. Our fear was that he was not going to be able to touch or deal with some of these matters because of the powers involved. But since he's being able to work on them and deliver at the level that he's supposed to deliver, he needs our support rather. If we had, like Auditor General Dom Levo was doing and others were doing in similar capacities, if we had all of them functioning at that particular rate, if SEPS was functioning at the rate that we wanted it to be, we would have actually made a lot of money. would have actually saved this country so much. I remember when it was Mills's time, he went there. He went to complain bitterly about how they were taking bribes and how they had become rich overnight. But of course, nobody's doing a lifestyle audit on these people. So I am convinced that in this case, when I listen to both sides, I'm more likely to go with what the special prosecutor, just inclination, just go with what they are saying, than to insist on SEPS being right. Not only because of its history, but because of what they have been capable of doing for a very long time.
Well, listen, I think I'm one of those. We've always said that the special prosecutor should be acting swiftly, should be working. And this is a report issued by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And indeed, the company at the center of this has actually refunded some monies. Yeah. And so I want to stay with the facts. It's interesting that two state institutions seem to be... I don't think the special prosecutor is fighting necessarily. I think it's the commissioner of customs that seem to be
raising doubts about the work
in the open. But if we stay with the facts, then we will say to the special prosecutor, the refund is not enough. We need people to be punished. So broadening it, I think people have been calling for more widening investigation. And let's go to courts. I think sometimes some of these issues can be better settled if we went to court. Yeah. Instead of refund. Do you get what I mean?
So you recall Martin Amidu as special prosecutor, one of the biggest criticisms against him was that just act, do something. All these excuses, you don't have money, you don't have this, do something, right? So this special prosecutor has issued a preliminary report. Obviously, he has established that there's a prima facie case. There is a necessity to look into the matter, so he has looked into it. And after looking into it, these are the findings he has made so far.
Right.
Now, the expectation now is what is next. The report includes next steps. And you will notice that prosecution was not one of them. Now, this may not be because the special prosecutor doesn't think a crime has been committed, but it may be because of that limitation of resources that we keep talking about. Maybe that's why the special prosecutor is unable to proceed to the point of taking this matter to court. Maybe. I mean, I can't speak for them. I don't know.
Which is something that the officers complain about consistently.
Exactly.
They should make a move.
Exactly. So they have made a move. They've done a report. They have told you what they found as a result of that. They have retrieved money for the state. That's a move. But the response to the move from this commissioner of customs is also interesting, because if you listen carefully, he never said that the report is false. He said that it is designed to discredit him
and that
it is hollow.
Right.
He never said it's false. I wonder whether that is because he knows that he spoke to the special prosecutor on record and his interviews were recorded. And so whatever he said, he may not be able to divorce himself from it. All he can do now when speaking to his people at their workshop in Kumasi is to tell them that, it is designed to discredit him.
You know, this is all becoming very petty. And I think that if you disagree with something, let's head to court and let's settle this instead of the two state institutions playing this out. For us, the people, and I think I'm speaking on behalf of the people here.
That's right.
Is the member of the Council of States at the center of this, who is also a board member of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, who has refunded monies that we should be concentrating on right now. First of all, she shouldn't be in that position. And why would she be doing business at the ports and still be on the board of the ports?
Maybe that's why she's on the board.
Representing business people. But I agree with you that you see, sometimes when we say this expression and we don't really mean it. It's also in other countries, and sometimes we have the words in advanced countries. Sometimes we even have the words in countries where democracy is working, in countries where systems are working. All that we are trying to say is that our own is nearing banana republic. We write something nice in our laws and yet we don't implement them. We aspire for greater governance structures and yet we don't do anything about it.
Absolutely. Just one more thing. I appreciate where the special prosecutor started his report from. He lays the foundation beautifully and talks about La Bianca starting business, I think, in 2014 and not applying for this. until
2017.
when the Council of State, when the CEO becomes a Council of State member.
And a board member.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's very interesting. In fact, that report, it's quite an education. I read it like a novel. You know, it's very interesting. Very interesting. And one thing that I discovered also was that when interviewed, the lady who owns La Bianca, the Council of State member, said that she never applied for that particular facility she was granted. She applied for something else, which was denied. But then following that denial, this officer then granted her a smaller discount under a different arrangement, which she hadn't applied for.
Okay.
You see? So there is something interesting going on here. And really, I would have loved to see some prosecutions to make the thing clear in our minds who has done wrong and who hasn't. But maybe it's a resource issue. Okay, let's see how quickly we can get through these headlines.
Now, the Business Finance reported 30 million farm machinery arrives farmers to pay only 60% of cost. That's according to the Agric Minister. Now, provide blood insurance to save lives. Dr. Furry is the one saying so. Access Bank champions SMEs digitalization. That's also on the front page of the paper. And July inflation rises up to 31.7%. Transport's contribution is 44.6%. And, but nothing will be done actually.
The Daily Guide newspaper. 2 funds to aid justice delivery. President, government contribute 2.2 million Ghana cedis. This is all good and nice. I love the picture on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. It's one of the Attorney General, the President, and also E.T. Mensah and Justice Jones Dochi.
Is there a law reform commission in Ghana?
You see, that's another interesting thing about our current Attorney General. There are things we didn't even realize were possible that we are seeing him paying attention to. So we saw plea bargaining, a law on plea bargaining. We saw something about non-custodial sentencing. And now we're seeing that even legal aid is something that we can now actually promote across the country. So that in the past, when we were talking about people not being able to afford justice, at least that number can be reduced. I think commendation is due.
But this also reminds me of the Domestic Violence Fund. We have a fund with nothing in it.
Another outstanding issue. I wish they would pay attention to that too.
1,251 vehicle owners land in trouble as DVLA sanctioned them for various defects. That's the biggest story on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. And blame inconsistency, lack of proper implementation of government policies for our current economic challenges. This is Dr. Ayim Dake. This was happening yesterday at the Stanbic event. And
live within your means.
Yes. They say you cannot have your budget will be Akpeteshi budget and you'll be living a champagne life. That kind of thing, surely. It's only with divine providence that I can continue.
If IMF comes to tell us that, then we will listen.
In the interim, it's local Ethiopia.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Dead goat syndrome. All right. The new Crusading Guide. Well, I didn't invent that, by the way. I just did a total recall. Front page, government commits 2 million Ghana cedis to Law Reform and Legal Aid Commission's funds. Customs Commissioner Jab's special prosecutor over La Bianca reports comes with a picture of Colonel retired Kwejo Damoa.
Okay, let's do the online review. It's brought to us this morning by Zenith Bank in your best interest, Goyle Good Energy, Eden Heights Luxury has a new destination, and Bigu Drink.
Well, Goyle, your oil marketing company of choice, keeps making life ever so convenient. Goyle now accepts Momo for all fuel purchases at key selected stations. Just remember to Momo it at Goyle. That's not all. You can also use your bank card to buy fuel at Goyle, and this is made possible by ABSA. Drive to Goyle stations now. Buy your fuel, pay by Momo or a bank card, and you're good to go. Visit Goyle social media platforms, Facebook, Goyle.official. Instagram is Goyle_GH, and Twitter, Goyle_official. For more information on the service stations, you can conveniently use Momo. Goyle, good energy. Goyle, yeah, dim.
Now, your home is more than where you lay your head. Your Eden Heights home gives your family the best quality of life with a full-size football pitch, tennis courts, basketball courts, squash courts, swimming pools, gym, and so much more. Eden Heights is a place where you live, play, and relax. Located just 2 minutes behind the West Hills Mall. Reserve your apartment today with a flexible payment plan of up to 2 years. Book a site tour with them or call their team for more information. It's 050-153-1444 or 050-153-1445, or just go to their website edenheights.com.gh. Eden Heights, luxury has a new destination. So myjoyonline.com has this interesting headline: Fitch downgrades Ghana to CCC days after poor Standard & Poor's grading. Yeah, that's one of the double whammies you were referring to from yesterday. Citynewsroom.com, Akufo-Addo urged to set up team to prepare program for IMF. That hasn't happened yet. Okay. All right. Well, check these and other stories out online. Right now, though, it's time for the BBC News.
And it's brought to us by Fidelity Bank. Believe with us. Telefonica Ghana celebrating 20 years of legacy, and Millennium Insurance, your trustworthy partner.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Jack, you know my boss owns a fleet of commercial cars and he drives only brand new vehicles. Latest. Before he hired me, this is what he said. Krachi, my vehicles are my investment. Into say winning, now winning, and you buy any fuel apart from oil. Waboka, sign this undertaking.
But he was right?
Yes, and he's right. Goil stocks only higher grade fuels, further enriched with XP3, multifunctional enhancer, more efficient, eco-friendly, and at no extra cost. Available at every Goil station at Jibedia. Goil Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP, higher grade fuels, excellent for modern engines and all vehicles. Goil, good energy. Yeah, yes, yeah.
Good energy.
At Enterprise Life, it's possible to live your best life. Ladies, enjoy cover for your lifestyle with Bloom Life Insurance for today's woman. Families, let's safeguard your well-being with a family income security plan, because family matters. And for you, live freely with our Funeral Finance Plan Unlimited, with no restrictions, no limits, as you cover your loved ones and yourself. WhatsApp us on 0554 001 924 or call 0307 084 444 for your solution.
You for dream big. Dream big with us.
Enterprise, your advantage.